Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. It's Wednesday, January 13th, coming to you live from our studio in Seoul. I'm Kim Mo-kyeon. Before we get started, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. COVID-19 vaccinations continue across the globe, with first batches of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines arriving in several EU countries, including Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. South Korea will begin vaccinations for the most vulnerable from February, and healthy adults will be able to receive their shots from the third quarter of this year. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of people in employment in South Korea dropped to 26.5 million in December, recording the largest on-year job losses since 1999. And the curtain came down on North Korea's 8th Workers' Party Congress Tuesday. There, the country's leader Kim Jong-un renewed calls to strengthen the regime's nuclear capabilities. We begin with the COVID-19 situation in South Korea. The country reported 562 new cases on Wednesday, meaning new daily infections have remained below 700 for nearly a week. Of the new ones, 536 were locally transmitted, 26 from overseas. There were 20 more deaths, bringing the death toll to 1,185. South Korea's total COVID-19 caseload has now surpassed the 70,000 mark. In a meeting Wednesday, Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun called for continued efforts to swiftly vaccinate the public from next month, stressing the importance of rapid distribution. South Korea plans to vaccinate healthy adults aged 19 to 49 starting in the third quarter of 2021. They will be given shots after the government-designated priority recommendation groups receive their vaccines. The Central Disease Control Headquarters says it's pushing to inoculate the population and achieve herd immunity as quickly as possible. Under the current plan, senior citizens in group homes and people working in high-risk medical or nursing facilities will be vaccinated first. The plan is under review, and the priority order may change depending on the situation. The United States has decided to release COVID-19 vaccines that were being held back as second shots in a bid to ensure more people get their first doses. The decision comes amid growing concerns over the nation's slow vaccine rollout. Meanwhile, the first batches of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines have arrived in EU countries, with plans to speed up vaccinations there as well. Our Choi Min-jung reports.
The United States is set to release Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines being held back for second shots in a bid to speed up the delivery of COVID-19 vaccines across states. Speaking to ABC on Tuesday, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said the Trump administration is currently asking states to inoculate more people over 65 and people with high health risks by distributing doses that were set to be used later as a booster shot. He added vaccine manufacturing is now predictable enough to ensure the availability of the required second dose later. This decision is in line with the incoming Biden administration's plan to release almost all available COVID-19 shots to ensure more people get their first doses. With these measures, health authorities are seeking to pick up the pace of vaccine rollout amid continued criticism of slow progress. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the U.S. has distributed over 25 million doses across the nation as of Monday, but fewer than 9 million people have received their first shots. Europe is also gearing up to speed up vaccinations across the continent as it continues to grapple with a continued surge of cases. The EU's first batches of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines have arrived in several countries, including Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. This is the second safe and effective vaccine against COVID-19 approved by the European Commission following Pfizer and BioNTech's. The EU has secured 160 million doses of Moderna's vaccine. Meanwhile, Switzerland has also given Moderna the green light for use after studies showed a 94% efficacy rate after 2 shots. Choi Min-jung, Arirang News.
The U.S. is set to require all international airline passengers to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test before boarding flights to the country. Citing people familiar with the matter, the Wall Street Journal reports that the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is planning to issue its order as soon as Tuesday, following weeks of discussions between federal agencies and the White House COVID-19 task force. The order is expected to go into effect on January 26th. The measures come as the Trump administration has ordered testing requirements for travelers from the UK over concerns of the variant there. Having lasted for more than a full week, North Korea's 8 Workers' Party Congress ended on Tuesday. Kim Jong-un once again pledged to strengthen nuclear defenses while highlighting the need to restore the regime's sluggish economy. Our Unification Ministry correspondent Kim Da-mi has more.
The curtain came down on North Korea's 8th Workers' Party Congress Tuesday with Kim Jong-un renewing calls to strengthen the regime's nuclear capabilities. Delivering concluding remarks during the final session, Kim also stressed that detailed tasks should be carried out to accomplish his new 5-year economic development plan. The event, which started last Tuesday, was the second longest Congress in the North's history after the 5th Congress in 1970. In the meantime, Kim's sister Kim Yo-jong slammed South Korea for closely tracking the regime's movements in relation to a possible military parade. On Monday, Seoul's military authorities said it detected signs that the North staged a parade late Sunday. Based on how she was referred to in the statement, Kim appears to have been demoted from first Vice Department Director to Vice Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party. But the latest statement released under her name shows she still remains a powerful figure. In fact, experts note there is a possibility of her taking the current vacant secretary position in charge of relations with Seoul. Following the closure of the rare event, the North plans to convene the Supreme People's Assembly earlier than expected on Sunday. The annual meeting is expected to discuss and ratify policy goals set during the Congress, like the issue of adopting a law on the new 5-year economic development plan. Kim Da-mi, Arirang News.
COVID-19 hit South Korea's job market hard in 2020, with the average number of people employed dropping for the first time in 11 years. According to Statistics Korea on Wednesday, the average number of people in employment in 2020 was roughly 27 million, down 218,000 from the previous year. Not only is the first fall in 11 years, it's also the largest drop since the Asian financial crisis 22 years ago. An official from Statistics Korea said the most job losses last year were in the service industry, including lodging, wholesale and retail, and added that COVID-19 is also likely to affect this year's figures. The COVID-19 pandemic has put health and well-being at the top of many people's priorities, prompting companies to accelerate digital solutions to healthcare. At this year's Consumer Electronics Show, firms are highlighting their cutting-edge solutions to enhance the experience faced by patients. Kim Sang-min has more.
From wearable devices to telehealth and virtual care. At this year's CES, global healthcare leaders are focused on connecting patients with doctors more easily during the pandemic through ever more personalized solutions that are tuned to meet the needs of users. This means healthcare has partly moved out of hospitals. Global healthcare leader Philips is highlighting a remote monitoring system for pregnant women. They can put sensors on their belly at home that connect with hospitals to ensure their unborn baby is growing well. And this is part of Philips' goal to develop smart devices that understand potential health issues.
If you stick this little thing on your body, it will start understanding you. It will start understanding your vital signs. And then we want to contextualize that and make sure that we can turn that into guidance.
For those concerned about their blood pressure, Omron VitalSight is introducing its everyday blood pressure management devices. These gadgets send real-time data to a mobile app as well as to clinicians, providing remote guidance to the user. Along with other global health tech leaders, South Korean healthcare startup M2S is at CES with its Best of Innovation award-winning product, VROR Doctor. Using AI and VR techniques, people can analyze their eyesight at home as well as receive treatment. The virtual space created by VR allows various tests and treatments to be done in a small space.
The trend in digital health is developing in a way to provide medical services to the broader public in a more convenient way. It will become miniaturized, personalized, and more accessible for the public.
The digital healthcare solutions at CES 2021 show patients and doctors and healthcare worker to healthcare worker can be connected even during this pandemic, offering broader healthcare opportunities to the public. Kim Sang-min, Arirang News.
LG Electronics is dominating the premium refrigerator market in the United States. According to the last Consumer Reports rankings, LG topped 3 different categories for best door-indoor refrigerators. The South Korean tech giant ranked in first and second place for all 3 different models, including 3-door French door, 4-door French door, and side-by-side models. The LG Electronics refrigerator was also rated as the best French door model last year. Door-indoor models are designated to help users reach items without having to open the entire door. Search teams in Indonesia have recovered one of 2 black boxes from the passenger jet that crashed into the sea last weekend. This comes after days of underwater operations off the north coast of Jakarta, searching for the victims and flight recorders. Investigators will now analyze the data to probe the cause of the crash. It's expected to take up to 5 days. The Boeing 737-500 carrying 62 Indonesian nationals disappeared from radar on Saturday shortly after taking off from Jakarta.
Good morning. The temperatures will be much more generous today. The top readings in Seoul will approach 9 degrees Celsius, the first time in about 17 days that we have been that high. But with the milder temperatures come high levels of fine dust. Other than Jeju, the entire country will be choking under the toxic smog blowing in from overseas, and this yellow dust will lead to very bad dust levels at times. So a dust-proof mask is a must today. Daily highs will be 5 to 8 degrees higher, while southern provinces will see highs in the double digits, ranging from 10 to 13 degrees Celsius this afternoon under sunny skies. It's going to be milder than the seasonal norms through the end of the work week, which means continuous high levels of toxic dust. Then a wintry mix on Friday will bring another round of icy cold temperatures to the country this weekend, but this band will be a brief one. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
And that's a wrap for us at the hour on Arirang News. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
As many of us are spending the new year at home due to COVID-19, this is the perfect opportunity to take a look around and organize the spaces we live in. Decluttering refers to the act of getting rid of unnecessary items that you own and making the space necessary for what's really important in your life. While decluttering, take out all those clothes you haven't worn in the past year, the items you never use anymore, and the memorabilia that you have buried away. You don't have to throw away all the items just because they are no longer useful for you. Donate them to a beautiful store or drop them off at a nearby recycling center to help those in need.
Though it is unfortunate we cannot celebrate the new year with others, decluttering our surroundings and making space for things most important to us might just help lift our spirits. Overcoming COVID-19 together, let's all stick to the basics.